a team that went to postseason a year ago, won 19 games, led by one of their fifth years. We knew, Gales was it was gonna be a track meet with her. But Jaden Simmons, I thought, set the tone just from the defensive end and trying to make it hard for her. I thought Trayana Chris came out, and really led us out of the locker room. But, these two right here, Khadijah is going to get used to having conversations with you all because she works so hard. And then what a debut for Mo. But again, what I'm learning about our group is our depth. And that it doesn't matter the player. They're ready when their name is called. Maggie Besselink was on the perimeter more than normal today at the 3. And we had a big lineup. We were intentional about that. Khadijah, Journey, Maggie. And so just being able to have the versatility, the flexibility as a coach, and continuing to learn about what lineups, right, offensively and defensively as we are growing as a team. But really proud of how we competed and how we fought to the end.
Question?
For Khadija, you had a career night with a double-double of 22 points, 14 rebounds, and you forced 3 steals in the first half. How are you feeling about your performance in tonight?
Yeah, I think when everybody sees it's good job, but I definitely could improve defensively and just not letting fatigue win in some moments. So, but I think it was overall a good game. I hope the team wins, so that's all that matters.
How did it feel to get back out there?
It felt great. It's been a while. I was just happy to be out there on the court with my teammates and get a dub.
She did great. She's so modest. We celebrated her in the locker room. She's worked hard to get back to this moment. And so very proud of 23 minutes. I didn't know how long she was going to be, but she made such an impact. And every time it was, are you okay? And she was able to stay a little longer. So just her hard work and dedication to get back to this moment. So very proud of her.
There's been a disparity in your scoring first half to second half of these 3 games so far. What do you think that accounts for that, and how do you bridge that gap a little bit?
Jeff, I have no idea. They know and they laugh because we talk about it. We talk about it in practice. We show clips at halftime, of some things that we want to work on. And, some of it I think is just the more that we play and just the maturity that we're going to have to approach the second half with, and understanding that you don't want to ever be comfortable. And I don't think that that's the case. But don't look at the score. It's 0-0, right? And we want to come out and make whatever adjustments we need to make, but be better because we don't want that to bite us down the road. We've had a lead and teams have been able to make a run, and we know that they will, but I think it's just about setting the tone coming out of the locker room. Maybe we will stay in the arena. Maybe we won't go to the locker room, but that is something that we have been discussing and we are going to correct.
Coach, you talked a little bit about your depth a little bit. I think you didn't use Mallory or Marina tonight. As you kind of starting the season and working through your rotations, what are some of the things that you're looking at in terms of who's getting on the floor, like matchups,
right,
and performance and chemistry and that type of thing?
That's a great question, and it will change game to game. They played a lot of guards today, and so they ran their little chin action. They ran read and react and continuity, and it was going to put some of our bigger players in compromising positions, being able to have to guard for 30 seconds on the perimeter. And so a lot of the lineups that you're going to see are going to be predicated on defense. We will play defense first, and so, but Thursday may be a different lineup based on the opponent. So the good thing is we can have that flexibility based on who we play. We knew they had some size, so we wanted to trap in the post and make it hard for them. So I think today was just more about the matchup and just what offense that they guard, what they ran, and so just being able to put the players in that I thought was able to guard that style of play.
And speaking of defense, how has their performance on the defensive end impressed you in the first half, throughout the game?
Well, I think we set the tone defensively. We want to dictate and we want to be disruptive, and we work on these things in practice. And so I felt like we did a really good job. I thought we didn't defend the 3-ball that good today, and those are things we will go back and we'll look at where we helped off, where we shouldn't have, understanding who the shooters were. But, at the end of the day, I thought in a lot of instances we did a lot of things well, turning them over, points off turnovers. We had 15 points off turnovers. So those are things that we'll look at, specifics where we need to get better. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty good defensive effort today.
Was there a conversation at half? Obviously, they shot 7 for 13 in the first half from 3, but then in the second half, they shot 4 for 16. Was there a conversation in the locker room at half about defending the 3 ball a little better?
Yes, it was. That's kind of all we talked about. And I thought it was transition defense. They had some transition threes as well. So, we had to get back and get organized, but you have to communicate. We couldn't all run to the paint. Right? They fanned out to the perimeter. So it was just being more organized in transition, but just locating the shooters on the floor, arriving on the catch, staying down on the closeout, things of that nature, just the discipline in our defense.
Is there an update on Jaylen Brown?
Yes, Jaylen will not play on Thursday, but she'll be back soon. So she's okay. She's okay. She's in a protocol right now, but she will be back.
And for Marasha, welcome back for the Sun Devils. You missed a whole season due to injury last year. And how are you feeling? How are you feeling in your first game back?
I felt great. I feel like I have a lot to improve on. I have a lot to work on, but it just feels great to be back on the court and be back out there with my teammates.
Thank you.
Coach, there was quite a decent amount of frustration from the fans with some of the calls for the refs. On your end, with keeping your team composed with all that happening, what were some of the things that you were saying, and then also some of the leaders on the team were saying to the on the bench?
Well, they're used to, calls like that because we don't give them any calls in practice, right? So at the end of the day, you can't control that. And I thought in some instances, some of those calls were correct, but you can't control the whistle. It's just next play mentality. Some of the things that we'll talk about when that happens are how could we have avoided that situation? What could we have done better? But then it's just next play mentality. You don't hang your head on those calls, whether you agree with them or not. You just next play mentality. But we talk about those things in practice, right? You can't worry about that whistle, but we can affect maybe the next play. We do have to adjust at times and see how the game is calling. If they're calling hand checks, then we have to be very disciplined and make sure our hands are off. If they're calling whatever it could be, we have to adjust in next play. We don't worry too much about the calls.
You've been here a long time without being able to play. Was it emotional for you? Was it, what were your just feelings going into this game?
I want to say I felt a little bit of everything. I was happy, I was sad. It was just, I just felt everything. Like, just being out there, stepping on the floor, I was nervous. I felt everything. But to finally get it over with, like, I'm happy I got it on my belt, and I'm ready to move on to the next game and get the next one.
And how close to your old self did you feel?
I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Now that you've got the first game jitters out, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to improving about your game as you move through the season?
I think just bringing a spark defensively. For me, I think that my defense kind of controls my offense. Bringing a spark defensively, getting more on the boards, and just trying to get to the basket more and contribute to the team.
I just want to know what the celebration in the locker room was like. Who was the ringleader? What was the vibes going on? How much dancing was there? What was going on?
Who was it?
A whole lot of dancing. It's great to have Mo back. She's been through a lot, so just seeing her come out and play hard is just it's just a good moment. So we all had to celebrate her.
Yeah. You all like to dance a lot in the locker room. I remember the boombox at Jada Simmons' birthday. So,
we absolutely.
Is it like just a
dance.
trend that you all like to do? Just to hype each other up in the locker rooms?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It's a fun group.
Yeah.
It's a fun group.
Had to ask.
That's okay.
Everybody good?
Just one more.
Go ahead.
The elephant in ASU athletics today,
Mhm.
Ray Anderson. If you could just speak a little bit on your side, what you've noticed and your experience with Ray with just being 1 year here.
Well, again, first and foremost, I'm grateful to Ray and Buffy for giving me this opportunity. And so, as far as just my interaction with him, again, he's always been kind to me. But we all know that, this is a business. And at the end of the day, I do wish him and Buffy well. But I know, as we move forward, it's onward, right? And onward to victory. And so, but I am grateful for the opportunity that he gave me. And I do wish him well, him and his family.